It's Bree Hernandez. I'm going to do my quotes for Module 5 for Chapter 7 and 8. The first quote is from Section 7.1.3. Setting up the room ahead of time while keeping in mind how the physical arrangement will influence the interview is an important aspect of arranging an interview. The author is conveying that it is important to keep in mind physical barriers between interviewer and interviewee, and how cold and impersonal rooms are less conducive to a successful conversation. I agree with this because I have been the interviewer and the interviewee, and in my past experience I've found that myself and others are generally more comfortable at smaller tables, smaller rooms, or rooms that are lit with soft light versus overhead fluorescent. My second quote, section 7.1.2 or 7.2.1. The interview structuring process begins by identifying the interview topics that will allow you to reach your interview goal. This quote is reminding us that all interviews have to have a goal, and it also tells us how the process for meeting that goal. I like this quote because I've actually learned a lot from this section. I have only conducted a handful of job interviews and have never looked closely at my goal. I generally focused on writing and asking the appropriate questions, or the questions I felt that were appropriate. But it's actually much easier for me to understand the process of interviewing when you frame it as a conversation with an end goal. So that's why I like that quote. Chapter 8, Section 8.1.1. A goal of an information gathering interview can be to conduct research to identify patterns and trends. In this part of the text, we're given examples of various reasons we might use information gathering types of interviews. I relate to this quote because collecting information and looking for patterns and similar outcomes is fascinating to me, and I hope that in my career in the future it involves this sort of data analysis. My last quote, section 8.1.3, is short, but I think it's really important. Send a note of thanks to the interviewee. I think follow-up is so important. Letting someone know you were glad to meet with them, and then always being timely with letting them know if they did or did not get the position is really important. Many times we say to people, and I've done it myself, I will contact you as soon as I have made a decision, or as soon as we know what's happening next, or if we have follow-up questions. But unfortunately, this is not always the case. We get busy and we put those interviewees on the back burner. And I think that makes the interviewer seem unprofessional. So, those are my quotes. Thank you.